Hey everybody, Lee from PcjunkieMods here. I'm going to show you a couple things I've done to the case. I showed you in the first video, but now I have a lot of the hardware and stuff in here because I'm laying out the water cooling and stuff. And then after that, I will move on to installing the water block on the 7970. Okay, so what I have here is I got the Maximus 4 or Maximus 5 formula. I keep saying 4, but Maximus 5 formula. I've installed both the blocks, the motherboard chipset block, and then also the CPU block. Now I put it in here so I could kind of figure out where I'm going to be doing all the tubing, because the tubing is going to be all hard lines. So kind of messing with my light here, so bear with me. Try not to get too much glare. As you can see, where the res is mounted, this is one of the plates that I created for it, so that way, and you can see that I have it cut out behind for wire management. So the 24 pin and the PCI Express will come through there, and then I have also here, as you can see, the 5 1/4 is all pretty much chopped out, and you can see all those little holes, all the holes there now, and then the big holes that I created for the SSD feeds. So basically my measurements are pretty good, because with the radiator in there, 62 millimeters is where I measured from the front, from the fan out, to be able to still see the SSDs. AData was kind enough to supply me with 2 SSDs for this build and memory, so I'll be putting that in here, and I wanted to make sure she gets plenty of exposure so they can see it. As you can see, I already put a fitting on here for the pump. That's the best I can come up with the fittings I had laying around. It actually is perfect. That's just a crystal link with 2 bits power fittings on it, and then 2 coolants, 1 coolant's angle and then 1 coolant's 90, and that works out perfect. So now I just gotta kind of figure everything else out. And as you can see here on the floor, this is my my custom fan shroud that I've created. Basically, it's going to cover the fans. It also acts as a subfloor, because that's where I'll be mounting the pump to. And then you can see there's a 480. You see the 2 fittings up front there. There's a 480 rad down below, as you see, sitting on top of it. And then so now I just gotta get all this figured out here, because doing the hard lines is not exactly as easy as doing tubing. So it'll look a lot cleaner. I'll probably have it chromed again, or I'm not sure yet if I'm going to have that res chromed, because it's stainless steel from e22.biz. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet. Haven't decided. So once I figure that out, I will go from there. Either I'll polish that sucker out, or I'll have it chromed. And then you see that there's a big gap here between the motherboard and the res. I actually have a plate that goes over that, so you won't see any of that. Let me go around to the back here. And you can see the front with the built MMPC Tech Nautilus grill here for the 240. It's just clamped on there right now because I took it apart because I gotta have some stuff powder coated, so I don't want to put it back together and then have to take it apart again. Okay, so this is some of the wire management stuff that I had talked about in the first video. You can see the holes. Let me put the light down. I don't know if you can see with the light here. Okay, so you can see I've notched this area here for the cables coming from the power supply, and then here I've notched this out for the 24 pin and the PCI Express. So they'll go, all the wires are going to go in here, and this is basically a wire channel is what I've created, because the bracket that the res is attached to covers all this. So this gives me my wire management that I need for this case, because that's the one bad thing about this case. There's no wire management. And then also down here I have another cutout, because basically all the fan wires from the bottom grill and the front. Well, alright, so anyways, my batteries died on me, so now I'm back. So I forget what I was saying, but the cable wires from the floor will run through here, and I'll have a brick to plug in for the fans, and then also the SATA cables, they'll probably come in through up here and then down and plug into the 2 drives that'll be here. So that's pretty much my wire management. It should be minimized. The power supply is going to be altered So I'll lengthen all the cables to the right lengths for what I need, because as of right now the PCI Express coming all the way down to the bottom here to go in or through that deal there is going to be extremely longer than what is standard. So that's basically that. So I'll be back in a few with the install of the water block. Just wanted to kind of update you guys on what's going on with this mod. I've been waiting on the EK products, so they finally showed up. Now I'm installing stuff, so, and my client build is done, so I can move on to this and get it done. Alright, so I'm back here. I got my EK 7970 water block, part plexi. It's got some metal here, and then it's the nickel plexi. For those individuals that have never done a water block or bought a water block for a GPU or even a CPU, CPU is pretty much the same, except for CPU is not going to come with thermal pads, but they all come with screws. So the GPU comes with the screws, the washers, some O-rings, and an Allen wrench. For EK is kind enough to provide that Allen wrench for you. It comes with just enough thermal pads to cover your stuff as long as you measure correctly. So that'd be nice if they provided maybe a little bit more thermal pad. It's not going to hurt too much, I don't think, on the pocketbook. Then also they provide the FC link system. So without the FC link system, the ports come out facing down on most cases. Some cases sideways or inverted if you have an inboard motherboard, but not many cases like that. So anyway, so you'd put this on here and you'd get the ports to come out that way, or you could buy the bridge system, which would be for serial or parallel to run Crossfire or NVIDIA, depending on what video card you are running. So I think this is a pretty cool feature. It adds a little bit of size to the video card, because now you just went from single slot to dual slot. So if you wanted to utilize the PCIe slot, if you had one right next to the card, it'd have to be a low profile device. Anyway, so I also have the back plate here, the EK 7970 back plate, and then I have my ASUS 7970 here. So this is a reference PCB one. It's one of the first gens that came out. So I will be putting this on that. I'm going to take this apart and I will be right back. Alright everybody, so unfortunately I totally forgot to turn the damn camera back on. Right now I have, so I cut all my thermal pads, and just to give you an idea now what I meant by they don't supply hardly any extra, that's what's left over. So anyways, so I got the block on here. I did the X pattern on the GPU, so I put a little dab in the middle and then kind of put an X. If you've seen some of my other videos, you see what you understand what I'm talking about. I put all the thermal pads where the instructions say to put the thermal pads. Now where I'm at is I actually have all the screws screwed in except for a couple here. Reason being is now because I'm going to put the back plate on. So if you look at the back plate, you can actually see that I need to leave that one open, this one, that one, and that one, and then the two on the end will actually screw in from the back side. So I already have thermal pad on here. This is how it says to put it on. I don't know why, but whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and put the back plate on because I already tightened down the screws. Alright, so that's on. So now I'm going to flip this baby over. I'm pretty sure that, well, I guess that screw doesn't go there. Okay, so anyways, I guess it's just an extra screw. It's not even on the directions or anything. So just for safety precautions, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw off. Well, I don't really think, yeah, no, I don't need that. I was gonna put a washer on here, but looks like you need them, so I would assume it'll be okay. We'll find out if the car doesn't post. Pull them out, put washers. There, now that'll keep the car nice and straight. PCB actually looks pretty straight. So, alright, so now what I need to do is just take this screw out here, pull this out. Okay. There we go. Why it's got to be difficult. I'm going to take the FC block. So what I do is just pop the O-rings in there. That's what I did on the 690s on the last build. Kind of put this on the edge of the box. Slide the screw through here. Find the hole. And then flip it back over. Now since the screw is in the hole, it's kind of my guide. And let's just give it a good turn. It is plexi after all, so probably don't want to wrench on it too much and split it. It's pretty thick, but wouldn't want to find out. Alright, so that's it. That's it for the card. So the card is finished. So this is a 7970 now, water cooled all by EK. EK backplate, EK water block. Alright, so a quick update. So I put the 7970 in there, as you can see. It's in there. Motherboard's water cooled also, and then CPU block, the E22 res. I also have the pump mod on the pump. So now basically I just need to figure out how I'm going to run the water cooling lines, because kind of got stuff everywhere here. So I think what I'm going to end up doing here is bridging these two together on the 240, and those guys will be on my 480, and this is going to be a lot of lines. Just trying to figure out the best way to run it, because the 240 is mounted with the ports up top. I always like it that way the air just comes right out of it naturally instead of getting trapped at the bottom. And then the 480 fittings are down in here, so we shall see. And I got to do something about this label here. I think I'll die knock that. I'll get rid of it. Easy fix. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I think I pretty much know how I'm going to run the lines. I'll be using copper tubing, and then I'll probably either have it chromed or, like I said before, I'm not sure, because this stainless steel res, I don't know if I'm going to buff it out or if I'll have it chromed also. So kind of want everything to be cohesive, so we'll see what happens.